Right. So yeah, Lakshmi, would you be able to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, Sham. Good morning, all. I'm Lakshmi. I'm 2017 passed out as a BTech graduate. Actually, I'm married. I don't have any experience, so I have one kid also. So I want to start my career as new in performance testing. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Okay. So hey, Lakshmi. So what we will do is, we are going ahead with the next session today. However, we had an extensive introduction uh, to this institute, to this, to the trainers. Myself and Pawan is another trainer. So we had an extensive introduction to us, and we also had an introduction to some of the trainees. All of us were there yesterday, so we'll share a recording with you once the course completely starts, and you can actually go through that particular recording. Okay, instead of me repeating everything again, and also to respect others' time, we'll actually give that recording, and you should be able to go through that. Will that be okay, Lakshmi?
Okay, Sham. Thank you.
Great.
Mm.
But yeah, but one thing I would like to tell is, like, performance testing is a good way to start the career. Uh, uh, what kind of educational background do you have?
Yeah, BTech Electronics and Communication Engineering. So
Okay, very
actually, I went some abroad in Hong Kong. Actually, I'm stayed in around 2 to 3 years. So
good. Hmm.
at that time, I don't have mind. So now, okay, I'm realized myself. I want to start my career. So that's why I chose this.
Fair, fair. Yeah.
Uh, uh,
Uh, okay. Um, Restall have joined yesterday. I know Aparna has joined yesterday. I think Sweta has joined yesterday. Prashanti has joined yesterday. Vinay and Ajay as well joined yesterday, right?
Yes, Shyam. Yesterday we joined.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, Shyam, we joined yesterday.
Perfect. Okay. So guys, let me ask a simple aptitude question. When I've got 40 marks out of 50 in one of the tests that has been conducted. So what's my percentage?
80.
Is that 80?
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Lakshmi?
yeah, I think so. 80,
80 or 90?
80, 80.
80, sir.
Sure?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So guys, looks like, the people are not ready to join from 7 to 8, even though they did say 7 to 8 is fine. People are not ready to join 7 to 8. We'll check again, but would you be okay to join 9 to 10, if we change the timing?
Yes, Sham, 9 to 10 should be fine for me.
All right, guys. I think we've waited enough time, so let's actually start. Okay. So let me share my screen. All right, guys. Everybody can see my screen, right?
Yes, Sham.
Yeah. So let's actually, start with this performance testing fundas. All right. So the first thing that we have is software development lifecycle. All right. So what is software development lifecycle, and how do we actually deal with that? What do you mean by software development lifecycle? Yes, guys. Anyone? What do you mean by software development lifecycle?
It's to the developers.
Can you be a little bit louder? I can't hear you.
Software development lifecycle is to it developers.
The way we develop any application, that is what is the how do we develop any application? Okay, that is what is the software development lifecycle. All right. So let's say let's take a simple example, right? If you go to a restaurant, okay, if you go to a pretty high-end restaurant, and you would ask for say biryani, right? One of the first things that they would ask is, how do you want it prepared? All right, like do you have any food allergies? Do you need to you know avoid some foods? Do you want it spicy? Do you want it mild? Do you want do you want certain ingredients? They would ask you all this. Similar to that, that is the simplest example that I could give you. But similar to that, when you are trying to develop a project, it is not like yeah, okay, let's go start working on the Uber application. Let me actually build an application which is something similar to Uber, right? It won't start like that. We would actually try to start to understand what exactly would be the requirements. What are the requirements that are needed for this particular software? And I would actually start gathering all the requirements, and I would document all that particular requirements. Okay. So the important thing is, we would actually try to understand what are the different phases of this particular software development lifecycle. Guys, don't sweat. You would actually be able to get everything in the Google. So these are the 7 different stages that you would actually have in the software development lifecycle. All right. So the stage 1 is project planning. All right. So we would actually somehow this is not right. The first stage is, sometimes you can't really believe Google always, right? That's the reason we are here. Okay. The first stage is the requirements gathering and analysis. you have to ensure that you understand what are the requirements of your project. Okay, what exactly your project is all about, how do you want to build it, and what are the technologies that you want to use, what are the different things, what are the different features that you want to actually incorporate in this particular project. All this particular information we are actually trying to put this in the requirements gathering, and you would analyze whether whatever the software that you have chosen, whatever the technology that you have chosen, whether that you would actually be able to make use of that, or do you need any additional support, how many resources that you need in order to build this, what is the kind of experience that you would need for building this particular software, what are the licenses that you would need, what is the cost, what is the time effort that would happen, that would need, what is the cost that would be required, because you have to buy the licenses, you have to hire so many software engineers, you have to put in so much hardware, you have to buy the servers and all this, right? So all this information you would actually try to gather in the requirements gathering. Okay, so the output of this particular requirements gathering stage is the analysis document. Okay, so once you get this particular requirements analysis document, then what you would do is you would actually create a project plan. Okay, now you would come to reality, you would actually try to understand what this particular requirements, all these requirements are there. Now how do you build those particular requirements? Okay, how do you plan that? All right, because you can't build everything in one day, isn't it? You would have to properly understand which one you would have to build first, which one you would have to build later, and also what are the how many resources you would have to hire to start with, and probably you can hire a few resources a little later. So all this information you would actually try to understand, and you would actually try to plan this properly, and all this particular information you would actually put it in a performance test plan, SDLC plan. Okay, so that is the project planning. Once the project planning is done, once you have finalized that this is the technology that you are going to use, whether it is Java, .NET, Python, Perl, any other kind of technology, whatever the technology that you have chosen, for the front end, for the back end, for the middleware, for communication, all this information, whatever the technology that you have chosen. Now what you would do is you would start designing. That is, you would actually start the coding. Okay, so with all the resources that are there, they would actually start the design plan, they would actually code it, and they would actually implement it. Okay, they would actually implement that particular project. Okay, and now once the implementation is done, then what we would do is we would actually try to test this particular thing. Okay, we would actually try to test whether it is actually working according to the requirements or not. If it is not working according to the requirements, then what we would do is we would go back to the either the design phase or the coding phase, and we would actually want to modify that according to the requirements. Okay, and once this is tested, that is when you would actually go for the deployment. That is, you would actually deploy it on the production servers, and you would actually open it up to the target users. Okay, so once you open it up to the target users, everybody, all your target users would actually be able to use that particular thing. All right, now once you have deployed it, then you would also have to maintain that particular project. Okay, so what is maintenance? You would have to keep implementing the new features that have to come in. You would have, if there are any bugs that are found in the production, you would have to go back and fix this particular bugs, and you would have to ensure that whatever the data that you have collected to the project, through the project, that is being maintained. All right, all this particular thing that you would do it in the maintenance phase. All right, is this clear, guys? Yes, guys. Yeah, so
Yes, sir.
guys, this is a very, very high level view of the SDLC. It is not like, I'm not completely telling you the SDLC within 5 minutes, but this is the important things that you would have to understand. Okay, I understand that there are a few freshers, there are people with a lot of gaps in their career. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to brush up their knowledge. I'm trying to brush up what all that they have learned in their previous education, and I'm trying to get them up to speed. Okay, but this is the extremely high level view of what exactly would happen. Okay, anybody with non-computer science background, guys?
Sir.
Yes, Sham.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, so many people with non-computer science background. Can you call out your names again, please?
Ajay Sham from mechanical
Aparna.
engineering.
Okay.
Aparna, sir. MSc Bot.
Okay.
Vinay Kumar, civil background.
Okay, got it. We have some people from non-computer science background. So let's go back to a little more, understanding of what this SDLC is. Okay, let me not jump into stuff like you already know. Let me go back to a little more understanding of what this SDLC is. Okay, so guys, basically this software development lifecycle is, as the name suggests, it is the life cycle, like how the software is planned, built, and maintained, and how it would be dead. Okay, you would also have to have a plan for its death of the software. Okay, because you would actually have to ensure that at a point of time this particular software might not be useful anymore. So you would have to have a plan to completely lose that particular software and build a new one, or whatever at that particular moment, whatever the plan is. Okay, so that is what is we are going to discuss in the software development lifecycle. Probably I should have asked this particular question who are non-computer science background to start with, but then I'm really sorry I didn't ask that. But anyways, so what would happen is, what is software? Anyways, even before we go into that particular question, what is software? Any computer program you build using software technologies in order to simplify a manual task or build a complete new path is can be called as software. Okay, or if you want to have a little more proper understanding, then you can look at this and you would say you can Google it, and it would say the programs or other operating information used by a computer. Okay, but what we are basically trying to build is a set of computer programs and associated documentation and data in order to ensure that we actually simplify a manual task. All right, so this is what is a software. Okay, so in order to build this, what we are trying to do, we are trying to ensure that we first gather the requirements. Okay, what exactly are we trying to simplify? What is the task that we are trying to simplify? Okay, let's say I've already taken the concept of Uber, right? So what is that we are trying to simplify in the Uber? Basically, in the previous days, in very olden days, not very olden days, but maybe before 10 years or so, when Uber was not there. How do you call a taxi? How would you call a taxi? Yes, guys?
By waving.
Yeah, going onto the road, hey, taxi, right? So, or another way is to actually, give a phone call to the taxi company. Like we used to have this, I remember green cabs, Meru cabs, and all those cabs, right? So, we basically give them a call, and they would say, okay, what exactly is your address? And we tell them their address, and they would actually send a cab, right? And this is a manual process. Like you have to call them, and they would actually try to take your address, and uh, you know they would call the cab driver in there is an operator in between. The operator would actually call the cab driver. The cab driver would actually take that particular address, and that particular operator would actually go to the appropriate address and give you a drop, isn't it? Now our requirement is, in order to build an app, okay, build an app in order to ensure that all this the operator is completely taken away from this complete path, right? There is no operator at all. Okay, so what we would do, we would open an app, and we would say, okay, I want a cab at my place, and automatically it would ask you whether it is a current location or whether it is at a particular address that you want a cab. Okay, now what we would say, okay, I want a if you say I want it at my current location, automatically it would make use of the GPS, and it would actually send an address to the all the drivers that are there in the vicinity. Okay, now there is another task that this particular software is doing. What is the task? It is actually trying to understand, what are who are all the drivers that are there in your vicinity, in your nearby places, right? Now who used to do that? The operator used to do that. The operator also maintained a log of what are all the drivers that are there in that particular location. Now the software actually automatically determines who are there, who are all the cab drivers that are there close by, and it would actually select a driver, and it would actually ask the driver to come to this particular location. Okay, now once you come to this particular location, you would actually have to give an OTP, isn't it? You would actually have to give an OTP. Why? Because there has to be some confirmation whether you are the actual person who has requested this particular cab or not, right? So you would actually give that particular OTP, and then you would actually board the cab, and it will you would actually get dropped at your destination. Now for the cab driver, once he reaches that particular destination, immediately he would be made available on the software saying that, okay, this guy is available in this particular location. Okay, so all these are requirements. Okay, all these are requirements. So what they would do is, once we gather all these particular requirements, we would have to understand all these particular requirements. We would gather all these particular requirements. We would analyze what exactly those are, and we would try to plan this particular project. Okay, what is the one of the important things that you have to plan. One, this particular app has to be available majorly in the mobile. It has to be lightweight. It has to be extremely lightweight, and you would have to be it would have to be available in the mobile. All this goes into the analysis. Now you would actually have to plan. Okay, uh, okay. For the mobile applications, what is the kind of technologies that you would actually be able to use in order to ensure that you can build an app, and that would be lightweight, and that would actually be able to make use of the GPRS, and you would actually be able to also connect that particular GPRS with the softwares. Okay, so all that information you would analyze, you would you would be you would actually try to finalize on one particular technology, and using that particular technology you would actually try to plan all this. Okay, you would design, you would code, you would test, you would deploy, and you would maintain. Okay, is that clear, guys? Yes, guys, this particular session has to be interactive. You would actually have to open up your mics and you would actually have to start talking. Otherwise, it would not be very helpful.
Yeah, got it, Shyam.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, please let me know if I'm going way overboard and if I'm trying to confuse you or anything. Please let me know. Yes, guys, is everybody okay with this?
Okay, sir.
Yes, Shyam.
Yes, Shyam.
Yeah. So now this is the software development lifecycle, but we are not trying to build software, guys. What we are trying to do, we are in this particular phase, and in the testing as well, there are a lot of other things. Okay, so somebody actually has got the requirements, they have analyzed, they have done this particular project planning, they have done the analysis, they have done the project planning, they have designed this particular project, they have done the coding, and they have actually implemented, and it comes to testing. Now we are there at this particular phase of testing. Now there are several types of testing. Okay, manual, automation, performance, security, API, lots of testing. All right. So what is I'm just trying to give you a high level understanding of what are the important types of testing. Okay, so what is manual testing? Now you have all these particular requirements. You actually say that you know what, have to integrate this GPRS with the software. Okay, all this when I actually book this particular cab, there has to be an OTP that that I have to get, and when the driver enters the OTP, it should automatically authenticate. All these requirements are there. Now whether those requirements are working properly or not, you would actually test it in the manual testing. Okay, clear about it, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Somebody wants to tell me what is automation testing?
If we automate this manual process without user entering something, that is testing.
Perfect. So without a manual person actually doing all this particular tasks, if you are actually automating this process of testing, that is the automation testing. But would you be able to automate the complete manual testing?
720.
No, that is not possible.
That might not be really possible. Okay, there could be a lot of tasks that you would actually have to do that manually. And even when you are actually doing the automation testing, when you have to enter some data, if you have to enter some data, all this particular there are a lot of manual entries as well in the automation testing. Okay,
Oh,
clear about it, guys?
yes, sure.
Yeah. And now what is security testing? What is security testing? Yes, guys. Now, after you get a cab and you get into the cab, you go there. Now you have to pay, right? So when you pay it, if somebody is able to hack your application, and instead of paying 1,000 rupees for the cab, they pay just 1 rupee, or they don't pay at all, and they would hack the system in a way that it would show up as it is already paid. or somebody wants to run a prank on you. So there will be a lot of cab bookings, but then there are not actual customers. There are a lot of pranks that people could play, and there are a lot of business that they can actually steal. Okay, so in order to avoid all that, what you would have to do is you would actually have to build your software in a way that it would not be easy to actually hack this particular application. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah.
I'm not going into the deeper understanding of what the how you do the security testing, because that is not under our scope of the course. But then that is the majority of the thing that we would actually do in the security testing. Okay, we would try and ensure that the application is built in a way that it is not hackable. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. And now, what is API testing? In order to build all this particular application, guys, sometimes what they would do is, instead of building it completely as a complete application, as a tightly coupled complete application, what they would do is they would build the APIs. Okay, what is API? Application programming interface. Okay, so they would build an API, and they would merge a lot of APIs together in order to get one complete application. Okay, now, if you have to test this particular single API, that is what is the API testing. Okay, clear about it, guys? Now, let's concentrate on what is performance testing. This is under the scope of our course. What is performance testing? Okay, so what is performance testing? Who wants to tell me? Definitely, you guys should have done at least a little bit of
Non-functional testing.
okay, non-functional testing. All right.
It is just to check the load, like how many, if many users are using an application. So we just test like, is our application crashing when this many couple of users are logged in at the same particular time?
Determine speed and scalability.
Somebody said scalability.
This determines scalability, stability, speed, and reliability.
Okay. Anybody else?
Checking the performance of the application under various load, stress, endurance.
Can you repeat it a little bit slowly?
Yeah, checking or testing the performance of the application under various load, stress, or endurance or scalability.
Okay. Anyone else, guys?
Yeah. In under performance testing, a lot of is there, load, stress, spike, so many is there. So as per my knowledge, for suppose if you take one website, if you open the website, so how many seconds will take the response? That the time will be take. The testing is the performance testing as per my knowledge. Side.
Does that say what you want to say, Lakshmi?
Yeah, if I suppose if you take one website, so I want to open website. For suppose if you take Amazon website, so I want to open the websites. The open website, what is the response time? What is the time taken? So I want to reduce the time taken. So so that is the call.
Whatever that I have written on the screen, does that capture what you're trying to say? Time taken to access the application.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys? Yes, guys. Sai Krishna said, you can actually speak, Sai Krishna. Okay, so non-functional testing of an application to determine speed, scalability, and reliability. All right. Probably he said this and I written this over here, but anyways. All right, yes. So these are the different things that you do when you are doing the performance testing. The most important thing is, yes, this particular statement, it would capture, nearly most of the thing that you want to actually tell. Okay, but what exactly, let's explain this particular statement a little bit more. Okay, before we actually jump into this, let's actually try and explain this particular statement a little bit more. Now, let's say I'm actually trying to access a website, right? What kind of website shall we access? Give me anything, guys. What website you want to access? Let's say all are Indians here, right? Okay, let's say I want to access icicibank.com. Okay, now count how much time it is taking in order to actually come up. Maybe 3 to 4 seconds, isn't it? Yes, guys?
Yes. Sure.
Maybe 3 to 4 seconds it took in order to give me this particular home page. But let's just say that it is actually taking at least 1 minute before this particular homepage shows up. After I type in icicibank.com in this particular browser bar, it is actually taking at least in this URL bar, it is actually taking at least a minute in order to come up with the homepage. All of you have ICICI Bank accounts, guys? Yes, guys.
No, sir.
Okay, but all of you use this particular internet banking, right? At least of some other bank, at least.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's say when you are actually trying to open that, let's for a moment, let's pretend all of you have ICICI Bank accounts and you're trying to do some online banking. Okay. Now, when you are actually trying to access this particular homepage, it's taking a minute to respond. Not only now, whenever you are trying to access, like from for so many days, you are actually getting so much time. It's actually taking so much time. Okay. Now, what would happen? Would you want to continue with this particular ICICI Bank? At one particular point of time, you would actually get really frustrated and you would actually try to look for its competitors, isn't it? You would actually try to see, okay, why don't I try hdfcbank.com? And what would happen once I'm actually able to see that the HDFC Bank website comes up extremely fast. Okay, let's just say that this is coming up within 3 seconds, whereas ICICI Bank has taken 1 minute. This has actually taken only 3 seconds. Now what you do? You would go to the HDFC Bank, open an account in the HDFC Bank, and you would actually transfer all your funds into the HDFC Bank, and you would start using the HDFC Bank, isn't it? Yes, guys.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, Shyam.
Yeah. So what you have to do is, what you would actually have to do is, you would actually have to ensure that your application responds within the target user's expectations. Okay, the application would respond within your target user's expectations. Otherwise, people would actually get frustrated and they would not continue to use this particular application. Okay, so what is this particular end user expectation? Target user expectation that this particular application has to respond within 5 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever. Okay, is that clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is one of the important part of the performance testing. Okay, having said that, is that the only thing that we are actually trying to do in the performance testing? See, now if I want to test whether this particular icsabank.com has come up within 3 seconds, then what I would do, I would actually open it in my browser and I would actually see, okay, 3 seconds, it has come, great. Now performance testing done. Let's deploy it in production. What would happen? In production, what would happen? In production, there is not one single user who would actually use this particular application, guys. There would be thousands of users, isn't it? So what would happen? You would actually have thousands of users accessing this particular application at the same time. And when thousands of users are accessing this particular application, what would happen? Your application might not respond so fast. Why? Because it is stressed out. Okay. Load, because there is a lot of load. Okay. So let's just say that. Okay. Let's take an example. Who are the newcomers over here? Okay, Khaja, Muhammad Khaja. You joined late, so let me rag you. Now, Muhammad Khaja, let's say that I give you a small task. Okay, I want you to actually prepare a small document, which would take say 5 minutes. Would you be able to complete it within 5 minutes? Yes, Khaja. The document preparation would, yes, Khaja. The document preparation would actually take 3 minutes, but I'm giving you 5 minutes. So would you be able to complete that?
For which one?
Anything. I'm just giving you a simple example.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Now, the same kind of documents, I would give you 100 documents, and I would want you to complete within within 5 minutes. Would you be able to do that?
I will try to complete.
We'll try to complete, but if I'm forcing you within 5 minutes, you would actually have to complete. You would really start getting stressed out, and it would be a hectic task, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Right. So the same thing would happen to the servers as well. Now, guys, all these applications, once you build them, once you build and once you implement this particular application and all, what would happen? You would actually put them in a servers. Okay, you would actually keep them on servers. Okay, so I will explain the architecture a little bit more, but let's just say that for now, let's just say that this is the application. Okay, there is a lot more to this particular architecture. There will be web servers, app servers, DB servers. There will be a lot of other things that would be there. We are anyways going to discuss that, but just for an understanding, let's just say that there is this particular application. Okay, now application on this particular server. Now, when you are actually forcing this particular server to do a lot of tasks at once, then what would happen? The server would actually get stressed out, and it might not really perform, and it might actually start making mistakes. Okay, so what you also have to do in the performance testing is you would also have to ensure that you would actually be able to take the load. Okay, you would actually be able to take the load, and you would have to understand what is the target load on your application. Okay, if I take the ICICI Bank application, now at any point of time, what is the maximum number of users that this ICICI Bank user website could be used by? Okay, how many users could use ICICI Bank website? All right. I would actually try to find out what is the target number of users, and I would try to test this particular application with so many number of users and ensure that my response time the time taken to access the application is still under 5 seconds. Okay? Yes, guys.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So only then I would actually be able to understand whether this particular application is reliable or not. Okay, one of the most important thing is reliability. Okay, only then I would actually be able to understand whether it is reliable or not. Now we have talked about stability, speed, and reliability. Okay, the application has to be stable under the load. The application has to have the speed. The application should be reliable. Okay, and we also should have scalability. What is scalability? Now, if there are a few more users added to the ICICI Bank website, is it good or bad?
Good.
Good for the business, isn't it? Because there are more number of people trying to access the ICICI Bank, so there is more business, so there is more money for ICICI Bank,
Yes.
isn't it? Now, if there are more number of users coming in, the ICICI Bank should feel happy or sad?
Happy.
Should feel happy. But then, if the application starts crashing, even the existing users would go away, isn't it? So what you have to do is you would actually have to ensure that this particular application, even though there are more number of users that are coming in. Why is my screen share paused? Guys, I'm actually trying to show a notepad. Are you able to see the notepad?
No, no.
No,
No,
sir.
no, sir.
No, sir.
Not
Website
sure.
is
Crap.
It's visible only ICICI Bank UI page.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Give me one moment. Let me stop sharing and share. One moment, guys. I'm sorry. Now you are able to see the notepad, right?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
I've been actually, taking notes and everything. I'm sorry. Okay, so right. So what are we talking about? Yeah, more number of users onto the ICICI Bank, and the ICICI Bank should feel happy or sad?
Happy.
Happy. But then this particular application is not responding to any of the users now because it is stressed out. The server is, completely stressed out. Now, what would happen? The application is completely stressed out. The servers are not responding at all. Now what would happen? Whatever the users that were there before also would get frustrated and they would actually try to leave. They would want to find some other bank,
Alternate.
alternate banking system, right? Is that happy or sad?
Sad.
Right. So what you have to do is you would actually have to ensure that your application would actually be able to take the load of further business, increase in the number of users. Okay, so what we are trying to do is we are these are the 4 most important things that you would actually try to do in the performance testing: scalability, stability, speed, and reliability. These are the 4 important things that you would actually try to test in the performance testing, and you would actually try to ensure that this particular application responds as per the requirement. Okay, clear about it, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Now one more thing. Pawan, are you here? Hello? Hey Pawan, are you there?
Yeah, Shyam. Yes.
Okay, I'm talking to
Yeah,
Pawan.
I tried to join as a participant, but it did not allow somehow.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Yeah. So this is the performance testing, guys. This is the definition of performance testing. Okay, to determine scalability, stability, speed, and reliability. All right. But then, guys, what is the scope of performance testing? Can I do performance testing on any kind of application?
Yes.
Let's say I want to actually do a performance testing on, this Windows folder. Can I do a performance testing on this Windows folder? Probably yes. But then, guys, that does not come up under our scope. Okay, so what is the scope of our performance testing is the testing wherein there is a network component involved. Sorry. That is, there has to be a request that would go through the network. Okay, when I send this, when I actually try to access this particular iccibank.com, what would happen? There would be a request that would actually go through the internet or through the network, and I would actually get a response. Right? So that is what is the scope of our performance testing. Right? Now, does that mean that I would actually be able to test only the applications that could be accessed through the browser? Not necessarily. Let's say I'm actually, having this Zoom, isn't it? Now I have this Zoom. Now what I can do, I can, even the Zoom, when I actually, try to, log in, there is a Zoom, application that I would actually download on my machine. But then when I actually, download this particular application, what would happen? It is actually trying to access through the internet. Similarly, you have Skype, Yahoo Messenger, Gtalk, all this kind of messengers, and there are so many, desktop applications and your apps on your mobile phone. There are so many kind of apps that you would actually deploy that would actually communicate through the internet or the network, right? All these kind of applications you would actually be able to do the performance testing. Now, guys, don't get me wrong. You would also be able to do the performance testing on the other, this kind of, Windows Explorer, Notepad, MS Paint. All these things you would actually be able to do the performance testing, but that does not come into our scope. Okay, is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
So that is the scope of the performance testing. Now we'll repeat what is performance testing and how we have to do this performance testing, what are the different types of performance testing and all that tomorrow. But I think it looks like Pawan has another batch that is starting shortly, so we would have to wrap up very fast. Is that right, Pawan?
Yeah, Shyam. Yes, we have JMeter batch now from 8 to 9.
Okay, so I would have to wrap this up. But guys, what we would do is we are still not very sure on the time. So we would actually have to determine what exactly is the timing that we would want to go with. And once we determine the time, we would actually try to see if there is an alternative possibility wherein we would actually be able to meet after this session. Okay. We'll talk about all that once this particular training evolves. We'll talk about all that. Is that clear,
Yes.
guys?
Yeah, guys,
Yeah.
please share your preferred time, guys. Okay, and in the Zoom chat, please share in the Zoom chat. And one more thing, I'm seeing some new participants, Koteswar Chaudhary and yes, only Koteswar Chaudhary.
Lakshmi as well.
Lakshmi, yeah, okay. Hey, Lakshmi and Kodeswar Chaudhary, can you please ping me on WhatsApp once? Do you have my WhatsApp number, guys?
Yeah, sure.
Actually, that is Pawan. So this is the WhatsApp number, guys. If you're not aware, this is the WhatsApp number. I'm sure you know, but I'm just trying to show you again. This is the WhatsApp number. So you would actually be able to ping Pawan over there, and he would actually add you to the batch settings and all. Okay.
We have a WhatsApp group for every batch, guys. So I created one WhatsApp group with the name as June 2023 because like rest of this week we will have demo sessions. Okay, and we are almost at end of the month. That's why so I named it as June 2023 batch. Okay, so guys, Kodeswar Chaudhary, can you please ping me? I don't remember that we had a conversation before. And Sham, I will also be joining from tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
You can stop the recording, session recording.
Stop the session recording. Stop share. And